Once I've placed the arrow, it's secure, and now this is about, I would say 25 yards. So, it's a lot of fun, and if you or anybody who's interested in this, try it out. How to fit the arrow. So, you see this area? The odd color goes up. That's how I keep it. Hello everybody, this is Imran Jamil once again. Today we are going to talk about one of my favorite hobbies that is really underrated, and especially in today's day and age where people are just bound indoors and don't really find, especially for the kids, many more activities to do outside. This may be of interest to a lot of kids because usually they are very much interested in this, and that is archery. So I'm going to start it as a series, and the first thing I want to show is what a bow is, what are the major components of a bow, and I will also show you how to buy arrows for a particular bow, and or your size or your draw, and what that draw is actually also. And today we are going to talk about how to put the tips in a new arrow. So having said that, let's start off with a case that should be always accompanied, because bow has several components associated with it, and protection is absolutely very important, because it can go off-site and it can have multiple issues with the bow itself. Once you have set it up, you don't want the settings to be ruined. And this is a basic compound bow, not a very high-end one, but as you can see, there are several components of the bow. And by the way, when I bought this, they didn't take it out, and it's been a few years. So other than the bow, now in the older days, we were able to get the bow, and whether you wanted to use a release or you wanted to use just the fist or fingers, it was up to you. But now the bows are designed so you can only use them with a release. And I'll go through all these components, but this is the sight. And obviously the strings, the cams, the limbs, and the overall chassis of the bow. And then the stabilizer is very important to keep it steady when you're about to, or when you aim and you shoot. So on this sight, as you can see, this is a sight that is good for different yardage, and you can easily set that at 20 yards, 40 yards, 60 yards, up to 100 yards basically. And then the tension of the bow is also an important component, which could be anywhere from 25 pounds all the way to 70 pounds. This one goes to about 75 pounds. And it's been a while. It's been sitting for a while. So you always hold the bow with this hand, if you're a right-hander, at the right position, so that when you mount it, you're able to pull it and you can see through the peep. So it's a peep sight basically. It's a sight that you see through this hole. When you pull it, it aligns with your eye line, and then through this you will aim based on how far are you shooting and how you have set up your bow using these sight indicators. Bow is the release. Now, release has a trigger-like mechanism, but you have to get used to it in order to be accurate. It's not that difficult. And how we mount that is, usually this is an easier one. You have different types of straps and different types of fitments. So you can go to a bow shop or Bass Pro or any shops that you have in your area, and they can guide you through this. The idea is that you strap it, you tighten it in a way that it doesn't come in the way, and then it should be tight enough not to get out of your hands, but it should be loose enough that you can hold the trigger like this. And it's a very light trigger. It's not a gun type of trigger, even though some of them are very light too. But what this does is You hold the string with it and then release it, and then you pull the bow. And once you have pulled the bow, then pull the trigger, and then you should be good. So this is a dry run. So for instance, this particular area is specifically designed, and you can move it up and down based on your line of sight, and that's how it doesn't go anywhere once you have attached this to it. So, and then you would pull the bow with this without pulling the trigger, and then when you aim, you're done. You can just press this. The next thing is the arrow. So this arrow is already made. These are baseline, I would say, practicing arrows. And the length of the arrow also depends on what your draw is. Your draw is when you draw it all the way from your this shoulder all the way to the middle finger's tip, to see how many inches of draw you have. And you have to set your bow according to the draw, and then the arrows would be also determined based on that draw size. And then as you can see, this is the tip. This is a very old used arrow, but the arrows don't come like that. So these tips can be used multiple times as long as they're not destroyed. And then each arrow has a container for that tip with threads. So if this is destroyed, then yeah, you want to, if the arrow is okay, then you can change that as well. If it's not destroyed, then you can utilize the same tip and same retainer. Generally, you know, the retainers go bad too. So it's better if with a new arrow that you go with the new tip and the new retainer. All right, everybody. So we will now show you how to fit the arrow. So you see this area? The odd color goes up. At least that's how I keep it. And then the arrow fits in between the two ends of this string, which is for your release. So let's see how it works. And then you would press the trigger, come here, and then once it's attached or it has grabbed it, then you don't want to touch the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Okay, now, so we are ready to shoot. It's about 25 yards. And again, attach the release, then pull it, stabilize, if you or anybody who's interested in this, try it out. All right, everybody, this is it for day one, I believe, for this part one. Next time, we're going to go through how the bow works, the sight, and all the components of it, as well as I'll just show you how to build a new arrow. Not build, basically, they're pre-made. It's just attaching the retainer and the tip. And we'll learn more about the release and some of the other components, how to set up the bow, how to set up the sight, and some of the other important aspects that as a bow shooter, you or everybody can benefit from. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, please share, subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon. And we're going to continue to bring more. Archery is the king, to be honest with you, as far as the outdoor activities that you can do. Right now I'm in my backyard and I can still do it. And now, since we are done for the day, and you can also have these containers for arrows, and you can attach it with the bow. We'll show it the next time in the next video. And now you can just put the bow back in a way that your sight is not compromised, as well as your stabilizer, and all the components sit nice and snug. You don't want it to be loosey-goosey. And then you have these straps. This is one of the most commonly used cases for bows, and yeah, the sky is the limit, just like anything else. You can improve upon what kind of bow you get, but first you get something within, I would say, between $350 and $500 range to start off with, which this is, and that'll do you a lot. good, because this is 75 pounds in tension, and is adjustable from I believe 23 or 24 inches draw all the way to like 31 or 32. And then you put the retainer anywhere here, secure, and then you take the release. You keep all the components that are necessary in the case, so the next time you need to go, you're ready. These are the new tips, and these are the new arrows that we're going to go through in the next video. And then as you can see, you can stack some arrows over here as well. There's a lot of storage. Have a good one. Take care.